recording, and we're not live yet. You are a go, senor.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Laurel's Real Money Talks. We are live on site from Laurel's Graduate Money Making Marketplace. Very happy to have you all joining us, whether it's on social media, our podcast, or wherever else you may be seeing this. We're very happy to be here today. I actually have a special on-site location recording from, again, our Graduate Money Making Marketplace. For those of you who don't know, Laurel and the Integrated Wealth Systems team have a regular money-making venue where we, again, practice what we preach and have people attend and get the opportunity to learn how others serve one another. So we're doing a special education piece from the event itself, not only to give you Laurel's latest conversation about how you can take the mainstream math conversation you've been taught all your life and change it towards the millionaire maker math conversation that you need to be following live from the event itself. We do this on a regular basis, and it's available to everyone who has attended the Millionaire Maker Meetup and Marketplace. Again, as I said, practice what you preach. Laurel does that by providing this venue on a regular basis. So very happy to be here today on a special broadcast edition of the Marketplace. So Laurel, very happy to have you here today, man. Very happy to see the latest content you're going to be sharing and the education you're going to be sending along.
Absolutely. It's great to be here. And a lot of you, we are live on Facebook. We are live to Zoom. And we are also going to be broadcasting this through our podcast. My podcast is Laurel's Real Money Talks, podcast about how to make money, keep money, invest money, and how to use a team. And those of you who don't have my podcast, go to your app store. We're on iTunes. We're on Stitcher. We're on all of them. Go find my podcast, put it on that lovely device called your phone, and listen to it weekly. It comes out once a week, and it is from interviews, amazing interviews. In fact, featuring Bob Proctor as we speak. So find those. In the past, we've had Jim Blasco, we've had Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belford. So make sure you're checking that out. Today, we are just bringing everyone up to speed on our Graduate Money Making Marketplace. So the marketplace is I'm going to say a place. It's a system, a structure where you get to make money. Now, the truth is the marketplace is in your community. It is all around. It's all over the internet. A marketplace is always open. It's a lot of you and your psychology that actually turns on or turns off the marketplace. Most people, because we are not entrepreneurial trained, we are employee trained, are typically thinking, well, I'm going to go to work and that's I'm turned on for that moment. And then I'm going to go home and I'm going to turn it off, and you turn it on, turn it off. When you become an entrepreneur and you start living a very integrated wealth life, integrated family life, you don't have a personal life and a professional life, you have a life. So it all starts blending together, and then your ability to lead it as an entrepreneur is where you're going to find the success. So if we move to the next slide, I'm just going to give a presentation on and some updates on how do you make money. First of all, your ability to create financial freedom is in direct proportion of your ability to create new cash. So what does that mean to you? Well, we're not talking about, you need to make money, you go get a job, you need more money, you go get another job. That's how most people are taught. And this is a worldwide principle, not just US centric. So what do we mean by new cash? Well, you could go do a real estate transaction and you could put a renter in. You could go Airbnb that property. I have people Airbnb their boats. I have people Airbnb their RVs. Just saw that for the first time. That's interesting. You could just sell something. And I'm going to really challenge you to do a couple of very different techniques. And one is to abandon your funnel. Another, we're going to handle talk about some objection handling, and we're going to talk about an arc of a conversation. So we've got some new techniques to help you move along in this money-making journey. See, some of you, again, that have been extremely employee trained and occupationally trained, you have an association to, trading your time. You're going to show up to a job and somebody's going to pay you to do a certain task and you're going to go home. Or here, show up and get live on Zoom or however that's all working out. We're talking about the money side though. How does the money flow to you? And as an entrepreneur, it's pretty simple. You've got to create a product or service that someone else wants. Now, what I mean by abandoning your funnel is, and it's been very interesting over the last months, I've been coaching a lot of people who are just, I'm going to say, scared of their funnel, hesitant of their funnel. I had one woman say, oh my gosh, if I actually sell something, I have to fulfill. It's like, yeah, that's kind of the point. Right? It'd be like me selling, financial literacy coaching, and there's, I don't want to fulfill it. Right? So it'd be like me selling a book that I'm never going to publish. So I don't know what the hesitation to selling your funnel. And let me back up to give you a little refresher. Your funnel is by price tag, right? The example we use when we teach is a $25 item that then moves people to a $250 item, that moves people to a $1,000 item, that moves them to a $4,000 or $8,000 or $10,000. I was coaching another client today, and I had him move from his, 3,998 product, and I had to move it up to 5,997. I had another one who was right at 5,000. I said, move to 10, move to 9,997. So a lot of you, inside of your funnel, you're either still building or making it up, right? Which is based on your expertise inside your funnel. And you're hesitant to actually sell it, whether it's fulfillment, you don't have the systems in place. So there's just this hesitancy to make money. Our whole goal, my whole passion for you is to teach you how to make money every day when you want. I mean, think about it like, my cash machine idea. Think about it like an ATM. You turn it on, you turn it up because you want more. You can turn it back down. You actually can control that thermostat of how much money you're making every day. And to the degree you want to make money. Our goal always is for you to make $100,000 or more. In fact, we have an amazing campaign that I'm going to share at the end. I'll have Thomas get the link already, but it's a Spring into Action campaign that actually talks you through a blueprint of how to make $100,000. That's only $8,333 a month. You say, well, how am I going to do it? I don't know. You got to make new cash if you want that financial freedom. Right. And so let's talk about what financial freedom is. Financial freedom is your ability to choose, your ability to, spend your time, not live, by a schedule that's someone else's, that's actually yours. The biggest thing about financial freedom, and I think your ability to create cash, is to not live by what we call inherited behaviors. How many of your behaviors are inherited by somebody else? Like someone told you how to pay bills. You didn't decide how to pay bills, or did you get educated on how to pay bills? Because I can tell you the 1st and the 15th or the 15th or the 30th are the complete wrong ways to do it. Right? How are you managing your credit score? How are you managing debt? How are you managing your investments? How are you managing your trust, your legacy, your insurance? Most of this stuff is inherited behaviors. So for all of you, when you really think about, what is financial freedom and what is your ability to create new cash, some of you, let's again, abandon your funnel and just park it on the side for a little moment. Just say, you know what, for whatever reason, and I don't need the story about it, but I'm going to put my funnel over here. I'm giving you permission. Now, some of you, like Anita's out here today, there's so many people. I mean, Lisa Williams, we've talked to. There's a lot of you, Dr. Stacy, you know your funnel. Your funnel is working. You are here because you want to continue to sell what's in your funnel. I'm giving those of you that are more beginners in entrepreneurialism, that have attempted the marketplace, attempted some ask sell asks, and it's just, you're not making the money. So I'm just giving you some permission to, again, abandon your funnel and see what you can actually create. And you say, well, what am I going to sell? I don't know. I mean, this is like the ultimate 21st century lemonade stand. I would say for some of you, you've got to really go back and look at my Put More Cash in Your Pocketbook. So inside, we do talk about your 21st century lemonade stand. I have people, so let's talk about that. Abandon your funnel, park it over here for a minute, meaning your expertise, the thing you're wanting to build. And you say, well, what am I going to sell? I don't know. You're going to eBay and clean out your house. I've had so many people do that and make quite a bit of money. I've had people jump into a direct sales business, right? I have people from direct sales from, skincare lines to wine to HGH to whatever, you want to do, sell somebody else's stuff, become an affiliate. And these are all ways that you can make money, not necessarily in your funnel, but you're getting in the money-making mood. I have another client, I gave her a 10-day challenge. In fact, I've given a lot of my clients this, so I want you to write this down. And I gave them a 10-day challenge. And what it was is to make money for 10 days. Minimum is $10, but for 10 days, they had to make money, minimum $10 item. And this was several of the clients who I knew just weren't comfortable, for whatever reason. They had a story about not selling their own funnel. Said, abandon your funnel. Every one of them, 100%, not only went 10 days. One woman, today would be day 19. She missed one day. I have another person on day 17. I have another person on day 14. I've had all these people just on this fun 10-day challenge. And you're going to see us be moving more and more into this 10-day challenge of make $100 in 10 days. And a lot of you got to challenge that psychology right away, where you're saying, well, $100 isn't much. That's not going to do much for me. It's money you don't have. And more importantly, it's a psychology you don't have. It's getting up in the morning knowing that you have a challenge, that you have to put money in your pocket. I mean, this one woman was so funny. I said, what do you like to do? Since you won't sell your funnel, what do you like to do? Well, I love animals. So she literally sold like dog sitting overnight. She cleaned somebody's house the next day. She ran errands for somebody. What else did she do? I think she shampooed a dog. I don't know. I don't really care. Again, it's the point for some of you isn't about the thing you're selling. It's about being in a place of service, which is selling something for $10. So in minimum, you're going to make $100. But I can tell you, she has made tens of thousands of dollars. And I'm speaking specifically to the woman. I'm actually going to bring her on and showcase her, because she's not going to give up the activity. I said, you're done. She said, no, you changed my life, because I'm going to go on to day 20 and day 30 and day 40. And my goal isn't to miss another day. And if I miss a day here and there, at least I know my new behavior is to get up and make money. And then when she's more comfortable, we're going to get back to her funnel. So it was a little shocking that we did the challenge, but all of you, whether you're listening here on Facebook, you're listening on the podcast, or you're listening here on the Zoom, just go make money. And your ability to be in that energy consistently. The marketplace is always open. Somebody always is buying something every second of the day. You have to get in that flow. And a lot of you are not in that flow, right? Because you're turning on and turning off and turning on. You're like a light switch. So again, what is that number going to be for you? That's your goal setting. So let's go to the next slide and talk a little bit about the technique. So regardless what you're selling, right? So I want to take that away from you for a moment while I'm teaching this, because I think a lot of you get stuck in it. I want to take it away and just say, when you're approaching somebody else from an ask, tell, ask posture, and I'm going to give some examples of objection handling through this teaching, a little bit different than I normally would teach an ask, tell, ask, or that you've heard it. So if you've heard it before, stay tuned. Got some new stuff in here. So you're in an ask, right? You're just curious, how can I help you? I'm a money expert. How can I help you? That would be your talk track. My name's Laurel. I'm a money expert. How can I help you? What do you need? And I'm listening very intently. I'm gauging your readiness, right, to purchase. I'm thinking, well, do you want, given your conversation, are you a $25 buyer? Do you think you buy my $4,000 item? I'm positioning you in my funnel. Now, again, if you're abandoning your funnel, you're just listening. How can I help you? Right? My goal is to be of service to you today. How can I help you? And all you're going to do is listen. Then you're going to pick one or two things that you want to work on with them, and you're going to tell them. So what I heard is that you need extra help. You need someone to run errands. You need someone to support you. You need someone to data enter. You need somebody to do your bookkeeping. You need somebody to reorganize your office. Like whatever they're saying that they need, you're listening and you're wide open. You have no judgment, no criticism, and no barriers to what you won't do. Because here's the deal. Some of the stuff, if you sell and you actually don't want to do it, you need to be thinking, who's going to fulfill it for me? Now, that is the ultimate entrepreneur, is ask somebody what they want, find somebody to do it. You take some money as a spread, and you're making money every day. So when you ask, you're wide open and curious. When you're telling, right, you're very intentional about picking one or two things very specifically that you could serve and help them with. Put a price tag on it. And if you're saying, well, where do I find a price tag? Price tags are all over the internet for everything you've ever bought. There is a sample of what a purchase price would be. And then you're going to ask them for money. So it's pretty simple. I'm going to ask you what you want. I'm going to tell you how I'm going to get it for you. I'm going to ask you for the money. Then I'm going to go deliver it. Now, all of that being said, let's go to a few challenges that I think a lot of you might be having in this ask, tell, ask model. Is a lot of times, because I hear this all the time. We've been doing this now for nearly a year. our marketplaces online. And we've had amazing success. People have made thousands of dollars. We've had one woman made 15,000, another 19,000, another 21,000. So we've had some big ticket earners, only a few. The average makes between $500 and $2,000 in a couple day period. And you say, well, I mean, that's not a lot of money. But I just want you to watch your psychology, because unless you are doing it every day, even if you are a high net worth person, a lot of times, you're used to big chunks of money, but you're not used to daily money. The difference between daily money and big chunks of money is a database, is a massive database of people who want to follow you. Like, I would rather have 100 people give me $10, $15, $20 than one person give me 100,000. Why? Because now I have 100 buyers that I got to continue to move either through my funnel or just serve them. Right? So if you abandon your funnel and you just sell 100 random things, well, you know what? You made some money. You probably got a little friendly with them. You got a bunch of people in your database. So guess what? When you actually bring your funnel back in, they're probably more likely to buy because they're in a deeper relationship with you. So right now, I'm giving you total permission to abandon your funnel, sell anything that's legal and ethical, and using the ask, tell, ask model, dig in. And I want you really curious in that ask, and I want you very intentional about your tell in that state of confidence and knowing that you can produce. And then just ask very no tension, no weird energy. How would you like to pay? Is that credit card? Do you want PayPal? You want a Zelle? Do you want an e-transfer? How do you want to pay? And then just be quiet and listen and create the transaction. I was coaching another client, and she normally sells something in the $300-$400 range in a membership. And I said, well, what if they only had 150? What if they kept saying, well, I can't afford 350, 400, whatever dollars that, you said. And I would say this, an objection hand. Well, what can you afford? What's it worth to learn this thing? And in her situation, she said, well, I had a few clients just say 150. I said, then take it. Now, don't give them all the benefits of everything that the $300-$400 person did, but just sell. Just sell something. Like if we were out and we were, moving around in a room, and I sold my books for $20, and you said, you came up with a $10 bill and said, I don't have any other cash, and my credit cards are, wherever they are. I said, that's fine. Let's all do $10, because I'd rather make you a buyer on the spot than have to go back to it. So I'm just giving you a lot of, I think, very distinctive tips to move on. Now I want to talk about a deep objection handling. I was with someone today who was just insistent. I did a lot of stuff. It was all like a sales day for me today. They were just insistent they had all their financial needs met. And I knew, number one, they were not a millionaire, so there's no way they had it all done. Never been a great entrepreneur, great employee, made hundreds of thousands employee, horrible entrepreneur, never made even 50,000 as an entrepreneur, but was insistent all of his financial needs were met. So that was in the ask. What can I help you with? Nothing. Got it all handled. I said, well, a lot of people like taxes, they want taxes, they want, debt reduction, more income. Nope, got it all handled. Just one of those kind of people, right? And you're going to have these kind of people too. So here's a way that I handled that objection. I said, well, let's just do a little checklist. Are you willing to do a checklist with me? Because I do a 35-point checklist. Can we just do a few of those points just to double check that you're completely as certain as you say you are? I kind of grumbled, and he said, like, yeah. I said, all right. So are you absolutely without like any doubt that your tax strategist has actually gone through 83,000 pages of the tax code and applied every potential deduction to your tax return as possible? Quiet, didn't hear anything. And then I said, so, and he said, no, I can't say that with 100. I said, okay. I did no judgment, notice, just okay. Then I said, so you have an LLC. Are you, again, 100% certain that every corporate, resolution has been done? That you have your shareholder meetings documented, that you have your vehicles. I mean, just in what I call home and lifestyle deductions, there's 286, not 13 on your Schedule C. There's 286. Well, no, I'm pretty certain those aren't done either. I said, what about a living trust, family living trust? Nope, don't have one of those. So what about? So you can see where I'm going. So basically I walked them down a path where there were 10 things clearly not done. And then without judgment or sarcasm, I said, so let's look back. Let's go back to that. I'm 100% certain that I'm fine. So what would it be worth to just solve those 10 things? Right? Because I'd already put value to all of them. And I had him come up with a price tag. So I just want to give you some strategies to dig deeper when the objection is there. So this is trusting that you absolutely know your funnel, you know your content, and you know what you're doing. Now, those of you that are outside of your funnel, you just have to listen openly. There shouldn't be an objection. You're like, you're pretty wide open. What do you need? Oh, I need your lawn mowed. Okay, I got that. So that'll be $50. And you might go find a kid to do it for $20. You keep 30 and you're good. So I'm giving you strategies. I want you to feel free to abandon your funnel. I just want you to make money. And I'm talking wide open creativity. And you say, well, I don't know a kid that could mow the lawn. Well, this is you getting more resourceful and out behind that little TV. Oh yeah, part of the 10-day challenge for $10 is no TV, no music, no, like there's got to be some consequences. Like you don't get these things until the money's made. So that's up to you. That was kind of a negotiation that I did with each of my clients is like one guy, he doesn't get any wine until he does his things. One doesn't get to go out to eat because he's out all the time. Doesn't get to do that until he makes his money. So there's got to be some consequences. I'd make it fun. I've had a blast doing this challenge with people. And I just want you thinking, what can I do every day to make money? Every day, and it has to be a minimum of $10. So I want to open up this Ask Tell Ask that we've never done before. Those of you listening live on Facebook, those of you out on our podcast, go to our Millionaires in Training group. We'll be replaying this broadcast here in all of our channels as well as through our podcast. Take the challenge. We want to know through our social platforms that you're taking our 10-day challenge. We're going to, again, more formally be announcing it, but it will change your life. I've only been doing this with maybe a handful of students, and they're loving it. They're loving the fact they're making money. They're feeling successful. They have permission to abandon their funnel for a moment, not forever, not giving you that permission yet, because I don't want you just to be a hobbyist selling whatever you want to sell. But I want you to take it on. All right. Now let's go to the next sale. And this will make a little more sense to you when we go to the spectrum of a sale. So for example, if you have abandoned your funnel, you probably are not going to be selling or doing a 50-minute Ask Tell Ask for $10,000, right? You're just doing little things. Another one. I had a mother of 7, really scared of her funnel, scared to death of her funnel. And we made up that she would just go help other mothers. I said, I can promise you every mother's need help. And a lot of them, they aren't going to ask you for help and they aren't going to pay you until you give them an offer. So write that down. People will not pay you unless you give them an offer. They aren't just going to say, hey, Thomas, could you just, go build my websites if I didn't know if Thomas built websites? I mean, you're not going to do that. You have to have an offer. So, I'm giving you a wide range to do it. I've got teenagers washing cars, detailing cars. I'm just trying to think of all the fun, different kinds of things people are selling. Oh, my physical therapist, she is in 4-H and she has a bunch of animals, and her kids are washing other people's animals and showing them how to actually show their animal. There's actually a procedure, by the way, for those of you that don't know about 4-H and showmanship, about how to halter an animal and how to show an animal. And so I said, why do that for free? So now these kids in this family are charging for it. So I'm talking go wide, outside your funnel if you want. In those situations, it's like 5 minutes. It's like 5 minutes for $10. It might be, $10, $40, $50, and you don't have to do the work, but you have to get the work. That's like an ultimate, really what you are is more of a concierge to other people. What do you want? Let me go get it for you. And then broker a whole bunch of deals. That actually could end up being a damn good funnel for some of you. Those of you that are on the spectrum of the sale do not have these, what I call out of funnel kind of random tasks that you're doing for people. Number one, you're paying. You're getting them in the energy of making money every day. That's the biggest thing I want you is that energy and that consistency of making money. And who knows, you might make up a new business. So I actually want to pause. Thomas, are you out there? And I normally wouldn't do this, but I know I've just downloaded a lot. Is there any questions or kind of, I'm just going to invite you into our podcast and our stream because this is different. Like we're usually all about sell your funnel, sell your funnel, sell your funnel, but I'm having so much success with our stuck clients in this other model. I just want to open it wide up, and I just want you all making money every day, because you're going to become a very different human in 10, 15, 20 days.
Yeah, and I think that's really important for everyone generally hearing that being flexible or being able to be creative with a funnel is an incredible skill to have, because it allows you to listen to what the market wants and not get so gung-ho into what you think you have to do to make that sale, as it were, appropriately. So want to open it up. If people have additional questions based on that, go ahead and put that into the chat line. We'd be happy to answer that live here on the marketplace. And again, for those of you who are listening, we are doing this as a live podcast recording from the Millionaire Makers Graduate Marketplace, held regularly as a venue for people given the opportunity to make money, to serve one another, to connect as appropriate. So great stuff out there. Again, if people have questions, go ahead, put those into the chat box. We'd love to be able to answer those live and continue the education with regards to the spectrum of the sale, being flexible with the sales funnel, creating one as necessary to listen to the marketplace.
Yep. All right, one more concept I want to jump into. So we talk about abandoning your funnel. We talk about some objection handling in a different way. And the last tip I want to give to you before we move to the next slide on objection handling is, if you get to a total no, I would just back all the way up, start your ask, tell, ask up, way over, and say, with a really broad, curious question, I'm just here to serve and I want to help you. What do you need help with today? And just get it really, really pointed. And they'll be like, well, I don't know. Say, is like every area of your life handled? Like, I mean, I would assume you know the person a little bit. I would just go straight at it. What do you need help with today? What's one thing that would make your life easier today? And it would just stay there and then be silent. As we go to the next slide, I have two more kind of concepts I'm going to put in. This one's critical, the arc of the conversation. There's a timing to all of this. So it's a little different than the spectrum of the sale, from the standpoint of the arc starts at the minute you met the person. So you have to back all the way up and say, how did your first interaction even happen? And remember that if you met them, say, on Facebook or LinkedIn or at one of my events, or I don't know, you've met them because your kids go to school together. However you met people, the arc starts at that bottom, if you're looking at the screen now, at that bottom left, right, rung right there. And as the relationship progresses, you're going up into this arc of a conversation. And I see it all the time where people start over like they've just met them, a person again and again, versus progressing the relationship. It's a fairly sophisticated technique, but in a sales process, the arc of the conversation, it happens when you know that you can serve them and you go straight to the money conversation. Notice the green line, like I got it. So the arc of the conversation is, you may have been in different conversations. You may have known them before, but you're progressing the conversation to a now, how can I help you? I'm an entrepreneur here to serve you, and I'm listening for your needs. And once you know their needs, you're going to ask for the money and be done. Do not follow the progression down. I always say, once you turn that corner, you go down the other side of the arc, you're done. So you can see the red, the stop. I hear so many people, and this is more sophisticated sales training, but I do like to presence it earlier. And for those of you who've been around for a while and haven't been back to our larger just marketplace, maybe haven't heard it. But a lot of you talk yourself out of the sale. It's another way to talk about this in a very simple way. You talk yourself out of it because you just keep talking and talking and talking, versus know when it's done. There's an energy to just being done, and it's complete for now. And notice I always say, for now. You can pick it up again later, but like, there are some people, I listen to them and they're just trying to power pack too much into a conversation, or power pack too much into too much into the conversation. So let me give an example. So, I'll use Thomas because he's out there. And a lot of you that, heard him on different podcasts, you've seen him on our shows before. Another way to think about it are, just say, like, Thomas wears 2, 3, 4 hats with us, right? He's a coach for us. He also does some fulfillment for our clients. He's worked for the company. He's GM for the company. So if you pack all those into one conversation without saying, let's, switch we need to switch gears. We need to switch conversations. A lot of times people get confused. They don't know which conversation they're supposed to be in with you. So just kind of really watch this. I know it's a complex concept, but really a critical one to have clarity from when you met to where you are, be done for that moment. You can reapproach later, but don't confuse or continue to the point where people are just, they're done. I mean, you've outsold, you've outsold it. So the last concept, and I love it. I think we should actually make shirts. Steve was being really nice when he put this one up here. He put the MSU in big letters, but it's make shit up. And a lot of you you're going to have to make some shit up and stop being so over analytical. You're not in a 4-year college. You're not getting a 4-year degree. We're asking for a day-to-day transaction in your life. And it's a very different behavior for all of us. I mean, I've been occupationally trained. I have a 4-year degree. I got a 2-year master's degree. I work for Chevron for a little blip of my life, actually in corporate America. But outside of it, I mean, being an entrepreneur is the freest, most open thing that you can do. You can totally make it up. I think that people that come from an occupational space, that walk into an entrepreneurial space, think that there's this huge rule book, and it isn't. It's what works, right? You say, well, what works? Whatever you've made up. So from marketing, write these areas of a company down. So from marketing, there's all sorts of stuff. I mean, to me, marketing is the most creative. It's how do you get somebody interested in what you're doing? And then how do you sell them? Your accounting, you can put money in the bank once you do that. And these are in sequential order of a company, how it should be run. You market, you sell, you put money in the bank, then you fulfill. Huge mistake. A lot of you fulfill. You haven't even figured out how you market or sold or have any analytics to that. And then you need to do customer service and follow up and say, how was item number 1? Would you like item number 2? And then how was item number 2? Or how was task number 1? For those of you who are banding your funnels and you're just doing things for people. And you can do all sorts of things. I mean, you could do, help people do tutoring and homework and all sorts of things you could do for people. And then the last big thing is your technology. So of all the things you probably don't want to MSU is your tech, but everything else, it's a pretty free form. And I'm just wanting this lesson to be about really making shit up, opening up, abandoning your funnel, just sell something every day. Take 10 days, commit to a minimum of $10 and go make $100 in the next 10 days. And if you want to change those numbers, change it, but those are the minimum requirements to be in a contest. So we're kind of in a soft launch, I'd say, of our contest right now in our 10-day challenge, but you're going to see, like I said, this coming alive, and we're excited. I'm excited. 100% of my students are thriving in this. And what's interesting is every one of them went back to their funnel for a little moment, and a few of them actually sold their biggest ticket and actually sold the bottom of their funnel because they were just in that energy of selling and serving. And probably the biggest thing is I've asked and kind of gone back and interviewed, and I'm going to do a testimonial interview about how successful they're feeling and what they did. It changes them when they get up in the morning. It changes how they think during the day. It puts consequences to their money and their result, right? Which is, making some money. But more importantly, they love changing lives, and they're seeing the pattern of how cash flow can come every day. So I hope that helps a lot of you. I want you to be totally free-forming it. I want you to make money today. I want you to know that you're in a marketplace. So if there's not a lot of people in our marketplace at any time, guess what? You have this lovely little device called a phone. Pick 10 people that you're going to send this text to and say, however you want to say it. I'll give you a little bit of a script. You can say, I'm taking 2021 really serious. This is my script. As you know, I'm a money expert. I'd love 10 minutes of your time. Could we do that sometime today or tomorrow? Keep it super tight, super narrow. You say, what I'm going to do for 10 minutes, you're going to do an ask, tell, ask. Right? So I'll pick on some people that are out here on our live Zoom. So Risa, you could sell a very quick 20 minutes for $20, for $50 to overview their bookkeeping system. Anita, you could do a astrology, report, what's your sign? Here's what I see for you today. $10, $20. I mean, that could happen every day all over the world. That could be the greatest, ongoing follow-up. I don't care if people, $10 for the next 10 days, you're going to give them some insights. So all of you have something to do. Get out there and sell, and let's get some new money being made today. So again, no matter how big the marketplace is when you show up, for those of you in our Millionaires in Training group, you are welcome to market freely inside of our group doing those Ask, Tell, Asks, and get out and make some money. Becky said, can you put a message on social media saying, how can I help pay what you can from 10? I'm not sure that, how can I help you for $10? I'm not sure if I understand that. You may have to come live. You're welcome to come live. There's not a ton on. And again, those of you that are listening to the podcast, go to Millionaires in Training, jump in there. Always go to askloral.com. You can ask a question, make a request, and we will follow up. But Becky, why don't you come live before I hand the reins to Thomas and we open up the marketplace?
Yeah, hi, Laurel. I was just wondering, I just came up with an idea about putting a post on social media saying, how can I help you pay what you want or what you can afford from $10 or something like that, so that they come to me and ask me how I can help them, and then they can kind of pay me what they feel or what they can, like just as a different version of what you're saying.
I would say I'd spin it a little and say, I'm doing a $10 day. I mean, I don't know that you could do it every day, or you could, I don't know, Thomas, Steve, you guys could jump in. I would say you could do something. I'm doing a $10 day and I'm giving my services for $10. What's one thing I can help you with? Say normally my services are, double, triple the rates. I'm having a $10 day. I just want to serve a lot of people today. I could see that getting some traction. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think anytime you can get someone into the system and start serving them whatever level it is, it's going to be a conversation that can be expanded upon. So whatever you can do to serve them and start it, I think is worth exploring and then reviewing the results afterwards.
But there's enough of you. I mean, there's a few of you on. So I appreciate you guys letting me do our content piece. I'm curious what you all thought of it. But I'd like you guys to practice some ask, tell, asks. I mean, there's not one of you that can't serve each other. Beth, and I'm not clear enough about what you do, but Becky, everybody needs some cyber tips. Risa, everyone needs bookkeeping tips. Anita, everyone needs your input to astrology, or just, I'm going to say your intuitive insight. That's another way. So, and I just want to caution you too, Anita, sometimes people freak out about astrology, especially, the more, I'm going to say the word, but I'm a Christian, like more Christian or faith-based they are, they're like, oh, that's new age and woo-woo. So you might just say, I have, it's my strong insights, right? For $10, I can give you an insight for the day, and it's going to come out the way you're going to do it your way. But again, it's like if somebody tells me they want to get out of debt, I'm not getting them out of debt the way they think they're getting out of debt. I'm going to teach them to make money. So, and Beth, I'm not sure what you do, but I mean, there's enough of you out here to practice. If you ask, tell, ask. Thomas has agreed to stay on and work you guys through it. But I would say, why don't you jump into an ask, tell, asks? So, who are you, what you all do? Well, hi, Mary Long. I haven't seen you in a while either. Oh, there is more of you. Hi, Janice. See, you all could do some. So do some practicing and just like serve each other, And I think part of the marketplace too is coming knowing that you're going to spend some money. I mean, you spend money other places. And you say, well, I don't have anything, I don't want to buy any of their stuff today. Well, what if you all commit to buying one thing today? So there has to be an energy. And I think, Thomas, that's kind of the setup, I think, going forward is we are attracting the same people back to practice. But then there's this thing called your phone, is you do need to get out, practice here and go out there. Meaning go back to your database, go back to your Facebook groups, join Facebook groups, by the way, is another way, like Beck, all of you, there's not any one of you that don't sell something that you could join a bunch of other Facebook groups and just be a great contributor out there for a while, and just, contribute. And after a while, it's totally fine to say, I'd love to be a guest speaker. Could we go live in your group? And, I really serve our group, and we go live for 15, 20 minutes. Couple things. Now you have a recording. Now you're being interviewed. You've been the guest, which, postures you very differently than, just being a member. But I'd get a little more, definitive about, a lot of your actions out there. Beth asks, what's an SLS? You mean an ask, tell, ask? I'm not sure what an SLS is either. I'm not sure. You want to come live and ask that? I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Maybe I didn't just hear you correctly. That's what I thought you said.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ask, tell, ask. Ask, tell, ask. I want to ask you what you want.
Ask, tell, ask.
Yes. And so
Okay.
if you want to put that ask, tell, ask slide back up, Steve, and then let's practice. Ladies, we don't have any men here besides Thomas today. All right. So this is your ask, tell, ask, right? If you're going to abandon your funnel, you're just asking how you can serve somebody. So I would start by saying, so all of you get your phone numbers out there, right? Say, who wants to do an ask, tell, ask? Get your phone numbers out there and, connect. I mean, I can direct it, but, and I know, Becky, you are New Zealand, I believe. So whoever has it, probably WhatsApp, you probably need to go to, there you go, Mary, thank you. All right, so who's going to go with Mary? Let's get things moving, start practicing and really do it. Like I know a lot of you very well. You all can help and serve each other. So let's get to it. Ready, go. Somebody's like, pick up with Mary and say, I'll call you right now. And then Risa, get your number in there. Beth, get your number in there. Becky, get your number in there. And you all start database building and jumping on calls. And if you want to move again outside of here, there you go. There you go, Risa. Your name is, there you go. All right, so pick each other up. It's a little like matchmaking here. For WhatsApp, you download the app, but Becky has to be in your phone. And then you could just call through WhatsApp, it's free. And there is that old fashioned thing called Skype you could still do too. And if you have iPhones, you can do FaceTime. All right, so let's start picking up. I'm not seeing you guys on phone calls. So who's going to call who? Dun, 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 dun.
So just like Anita Vanderhaeg did there, you can go ahead and put your information into the chat box, let people know how you can help them, how they can connect with you, and get on that phone call to see how you may be able to serve one another appropriately. And I do want to speak to something that we've heard from some of the folks. It does work. This is a give and take environment. This is an environment where people do well when you're both interested in understanding not only what the other person offers, but how they might be able to help you, right? I think sometimes people get a little too close-minded when it comes to the idea that they're just going to sell and they're not going to buy anything. But there's a lot that can come from that open mind of learning how people might be able to help you and working with that appropriately. In fact, Laurel's conversation just now, open with your funnel, might be able to expand upon that for everyone who is participating here today. So thank you, Beth. Thank you for Anita. Everyone else, go ahead, put your contact or put your information in the chat box below, and people will understand how they connect with you and start learning how you can serve one another.
And what is amazing about this group today is there doesn't seem to be hardly any duplicate, funnels. So all of you need each other in some way to do something. Right. And just make simple offers today. Get used to just that simple offers and that practice over and over and over. So with that, Thomas, I'm going to hand you the reins to keep things moving out here, and let's see how much money can get made.
Sounds good. Thank you, Laura. And again, thank you all for joining us on the Graduate Marketplace tonight. Very happy to have you here all serving one another and seeing how you may be able to do so. Go ahead, put your contact information into the chat box. You can learn how you would be able to connect with other folks, learn what they are offering, as Beth has just put in there, and see how you might be able to utilize one another towards your end goals and what you are looking to do. As Laurel said, I will be on the call this evening, available via the chat box to assist with any questions or clarifications as necessary. But you are not limited to everyone who is in here on this marketplace. You can also reach out to other folks as well. I believe we're also on several social channels at the same time. So would love to have people posting, sharing, and participating appropriately and having you all join us on the marketplace one way or the other itself. So with that being said, we will be on tonight. Please reach out via the chat if you have questions, concerns. Otherwise, we will facilitate you all connecting as best as we can and helping you all towards your financial goals. So we will be here. Just let us know how we can help.